Good morning. Good morning. This is Charles Coachman, and this is Coachman on Real Estate. Hope everyone's having a great day today. I hope you are staying dry. And from the looks outside, we got nice, clear blue skies, so I hope they're going to stay that way for a little while. We have been inundated with rain, but luckily we have been ready to do whatever we need to do to avoid the flooding. We have been pretty much spared here in the South Bay from electrical blackouts, even through those high winds. We did have power outages for a while. And one of the good things that's come, even though we've got all this rain so far, we have not suffered landslides or mudslides in the Santa Cruz Mountains. Now, there are some areas that have had some mudslides, and we have to be concerned for those areas. One of the things, though, like in the Santa Cruz Mountains, where they've got all those great redwoods and all the other trees there, they are sitting on some very soft soil. So just everybody needs to take the precautions that they need to take, because a lot of homes are surrounded by those trees, and I'm seeing a lot of work being done to take out trees because they are swaying a little bit more than they are used to, and unfortunately they're going to have to be taken down in some cases around the homes, especially because we have seen trees coming down into homes throughout the Bay Area. So we got to watch that. Well, I normally like to get my show started by saying, by giving some shout outs for those that are enjoying birthdays. And I just want to say happy birthday to one of my realtor friends. That is Heidi McMahon. Heidi has moved over to the Santa Cruz area, I believe over in Capitola, and is enjoying the beach now. But she still does real estate over there and here in the South Bay. So, Heidi, wishing you a very happy birthday. Enjoy your day. And if it's your birthday out there and I didn't give you a shout out, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you, and especially you, Heidi McMahon. Have an awesome day. One of the other things that I like to do is let people know the systems that we are using. First of all, we are using StreamYard.com as our platform. And if you would like to put in a comment and you would like your face and name to be out there, go to StreamYard.com/Facebook and allow them to use your likeness. And they will get your picture in there. So if you'd like to do that, that'd be awesome. And then again, I want to talk about the companies that we use and that have helped us over this last year now of the pandemic. And that is Ken Wall's Grow Live Academy. That is the Grow Live Academy. That is a system to help you learn about live streaming. And Ken Walls has put out an excellent program. Then again, we're going to mention StreamYard.com, the platform that we're using, and just a great system that they have. And then I am keeping in touch with my clients with Hippo Video, and it's a terrific way to go. Terrific. Anyway, those are the groups that we are using and the groups that I am personally backing. So again, this is Coachman on Real Estate. I am Charles Coachman. I'm a realtor with Keller Williams, Silicon Valley. You can reach me at 408-439-0766, either by calling or texting. That'd be great. Or Coachman, ONRE @gmail.com. That's Coachman on Real Estate @gmail.com. And you can also go to our many websites. Take a look at those. And if you need some help we would be glad to talk with you. There is no charge for us talking to you. It'd just be great to line up and talk with some folks. And then I have a saying that the buying and selling of real estate is a team business, and no team is complete without the coach. No team is complete without the coach. Yeah, let's move back in here. Okay, let's pull this down. Now we have been talking about the last few days about evictions for renters, and what's going on with that in San Jose. So we have gotten to a point where we had to extend evictions, not allowing evictions to take place because it was due. The last measures that have been passed were due to expire on January 31st. So now San Jose City has taken and extended it to March 4th. And I'm going to read, and this is coming from Spotlight paper. San Jose emergency measure will halt evictions due to non-payment of rent for tenants and mobile homeowners who have been financially impacted by COVID-19 until March 4th, and will include a 1-year repayment plan for rent accrued during the eviction ban. So that is great news for renters. We want to make sure that we are getting that covered. Now, California, as we reported earlier this week, California has a couple of $2 billion to go out to landlords, to help make them whole during this period. They are not going to be able to pay every landlord that is short. They're going to pay them a portion of what they've been shorted, because this is a very, very difficult time. And without the ability to evict people for not paying, and let's admit, landlords do not want to evict people. They want to have people living in their homes, their properties, which they're managing. They want people to live there. They don't want to see vacancies for a day, but they need to be able to get paid. So now there is $2.6 billion in aid that's going to be coming to landlords and tenants to pay down their debts. In addition to banning evictions, council members have encouraged their colleagues to extend the city's rent increase moratorium. So rent increase moratorium will last until December 31st, 2020. A freeze on rents for mobile home residents who are impacted by COVID-19 so that mobile home park owners can maintain their operations. So we want to make sure that wherever you are in California, we are going to try and help all renters and help all landlords. So they're not going to be made whole, but they are going to be getting some payments, and we need to make sure that that happens. This proposal is designed to be fair and equitable for all parties. The majority of owners, including me, want to do what's right and help people. This was a statement by Roberta Moore. This is the best way to help people in need without causing unnecessary burden on housing providers. So take a look and be aware. Dig in, contact your councilman, find out whatever you can on this. If you are a renter in this area, check and find out what your rights are. You don't want to be evicted. You do not want to be illegally evicted. And make sure that you are getting your full rights. Do that. And if I were you, I'd be doing that today. One of the things, though, that we have to mention that's going to cause a little bit of a stall in this are people that are fully employed but still are not paying their rents. So they're gathering their monies and stacking up their monies instead of paying their rents. And that is not acceptable. And the state has to end that type of fraud. So they're going to have to come up with a system for verifying those that are claiming to be unemployed and affected by COVID-19, unemployed or underemployed. But as usual, whenever something happens, there are people looking to take advantage of the system. And we've got to end that, because this is our tax dollars that are being wastefully spent for those that are committing fraud. And we no longer can stand for this. We are seeing the same problems with EDD and with unemployment happening. We want to make sure that we wipe that out. These people do not deserve our tax dollars. So the state's going to have to do that. And if you are aware of somebody that is doing that, you should probably report it either to the state, to your state legislator, or to your city council person. I don't want people to be snitches, but I also believe in the law, and I also believe in not taking advantage of a crisis. Do not take advantage of a crisis. And most of us aren't. It's just those small few. But those small few have cost us upwards of $30 billion in unemployment monies. $30 billion. So we've got to take a good look at that. All right. Hey, there is another article that I wanted to go through. And this is how COVID-19 has influenced the South Bay real estate trends. And this is written by my friend Neil Collins. Again, this is part of Spotlight on San Jose. So I'm going to read directly from his article. COVID-19 has affected our everyday life, and almost every aspect of the home buying is no exception. The pandemic did not necessarily create new trends, but rather accelerated them. Prior to COVID-19, online shopping had already been on a considerable upward swing. The pandemic just boosted it. The same can be said about remote working from the home. As regional housing prices continued to rise and the technology empowering remote working and collaboration improved, companies are more willing to embrace a work from home strategy as a way to retain top talent. COVID-19 and our stay-at-home orders supercharged this movement in an undeniable way. So, what's it done to our housing? Well, COVID-19 has had many families reconsider living in densely populated housing, especially as the surrounding amenities they have enjoyed in many cases shut their doors. So we're talking about, and what we're talking about there is living in condos. Whether they're high rise or they're communities, you're tight and clustered. And that's not good for COVID-19. But also all the small stores that surround those. Our neighborhoods have been closed down. Our neighborhood stores have been pretty much closed down. So it makes it tough to live in those areas. So another realtor friend of mine, Karen Nelson of Intero Real Estate in Morgan Hill, is noticing what she is seeing. And this is people are going crazy, locked up in these apartments or smaller condos in the city. and are moving to more rural places because they can. And they can because we can telecommute. The low interest rates have really opened up a lot of opportunities for buyers. I'm seeing move from San Jose to Morgan Hill and Gilroy. They're finding they can get more space in great neighborhoods and lower prices. They are finding they can get more space in great neighborhoods. Some are relocating to Rockland, Sacramento, El Dorado County, or even out of state while maintaining a Silicon Valley job. With the shelter-in-place order, the need for personal green space seems as vital as ever. The backyard play set for the little ones in a family, vegetable gardens are all the rage. I have seen front yards in my neighborhood with freshly planted trees as households look to be more self-reliant during the shutdown. So what does this all mean? In the short term, we expect the outward migration from the city center to more suburban or even rural areas to continue. However, as the economy begins to rebound and downtowns become vibrant once again, you will see those downtown condos start to fill up once again. People move downtown for culture, music, great food, and nightly entertainment. All that is on pause right now until we get vaccines widely distributed. Some jobs can be done at a high level remotely. Others need that face-to-face collaboration. It's so very difficult instilling a company culture when workers don't really get to experience one another. So the tech campuses are probably here to stay. However, office space will be more heavily scrutinized moving forward. The big tech land grab will probably also be on pause as employers evaluate their long-term office requirements. Despite all the uncertainty at this point, all indications that the housing market should remain strong through this year. So that is a good sign for those of us in the Silicon Valley, those of us throughout the Bay Area. Mark Rodriguez, how you doing, my friend? So good to see you. This is one heck of a guy. And if you like to do anything on Facebook, look up Mark Rodriguez. And if you like getting on the telephone and talking there, you can find Mark on Clubhouse. Mark Rodriguez on Clubhouse. Always a great guy. All right. So I wanted to get to a couple of articles that we're just going over today. And these are from the California Association of Realtors. And the first article is about 5 ways to put a stop to steering. If you do not know what steering is, that's the practice of telling some people about good neighborhoods, and then others, you don't let them know. So that's steering. You're steering a person away from a neighborhood. You're steering a family away from a neighborhood. You'll tell one family, hey, this neighborhood is great, a good place for you to live in, but you won't tell that other family that. And so there are ways that we need to take and change this. Now, this was actually done. Most of the country is basing this on a report that was done. Oh, I think it is out of Long Island. I am trying to see here exactly. Yes, Long Island. An 2019 investigation done out of Long Island. And they're wanting to make a lot of changes. Now, here in the neighborhoods that I live, there are plenty of ethnicities mixed in. It doesn't matter who you are. You're welcome to these neighborhoods. But some neighborhoods, some people can afford, some others can't. But they're telling us, here's the things that we have to avoid, or here's the things that we need to do to make sure that all families are accepted. When your realtor asks you questions, they need to be asking the same questions to each and every client. Not taking a client of one ethnicity and not addressing them or not telling them everything that they need to know. We need to be fair with that. When clients want to know about their neighborhoods, want to know about the schools, want to know about any crime that's in the area, we are going to tell you and give you resources to look up, because we have to take it out of our hands, because sometimes not meaning to, that's another way of stirring a party. And we can't do that. We just can't do that. We cannot share, and this is one of the 5 tips, we cannot share, or we have to share the same information with every client who asks about a neighborhood. We have to do that. We want to make sure that our clients are well aware. Treat everyone with the same standards of professional courtesy. If you are out there and you are not being treated properly, I would tell you one thing. Most of us here in Santa Clara County are part of either Santa Clara County Association of Realtors or the Silicon Valley Association of Realtors. You've got to make sure, if you have a realtor that is not treating you properly, then you need to report them to their board. Unfortunately, that's what's going to happen. They need to be reported, because it is unacceptable to steer in this area, in this date and time. We've got to make sure that we erase that stuff. Those days are over. Now, here's one that it's a little more difficult to perceive, but it's learn more about unconscious biases. Making sure that we understand that each and every client needs to be treated right. And we cannot have an unconscious bias. We want to make sure that we are treating our clients in a way that's good for them. And we have to make sure that each client is taken care of no matter what. So that's one of the big issues of the day throughout the country, especially in big cities. We want to make sure that we are treating our clients, no matter what ethnicity they are, no matter if they're red, white, black, yellow, brown. We need to treat people as people, period. That is not that difficult to understand. We need to make sure that we are treating our clients just the way that they should be. And if you are not being treated properly, again, take it to the local real estate board and report whoever it is, and try and get that worked out. Try and get it worked out. So now that we're talking about going to different ways that COVID is changing our marketplace, and we're just going to give these a glossing over. But one of the things is inequality is on the rise. We have to realize that when some people are being left behind because their work has been taken away from them, inequality goes up. Absolutely. Absolutely. We've been talking about this the last few days, the wealth gap. Now, I am a full supporter in people using real estate to close that wealth gap. And I can talk about that for days on end, because I believe that we need to do that. If you can afford to get into a home, if you're the type of person that is willing to struggle for a while so they can buy a home, a place that they can call home for a good long time, you need to do that. The biggest way to close that wealth gap is to have real estate, because real estate can add 10% to your personal wealth each year by your home gaining equity. Now, in different areas of the country, the equity grows at different paces. It grows in different neighborhoods. We have to understand that all real estate is local. That's one of the famous sayings, that, hey, this neighborhood is different from this neighborhood, and those changes can cause one to grow more equity than the other. And we have to understand that. But one way to close the wealth gap is buying real estate, getting invested in real estate. Not only is it, you can look at it as a financial investment, but it's your place to live. It is your place to lay your stake, to set your stake, and be ready to go. We are starting to see suburban markets opening up, where it used to be that everyone wanted to live close to their work. Now with telecommuting, you can open up. For us in San Jose, we can go out to the valley. We can head south into Morgan Hill, Gilroy, Hollister, those areas. We can also head to the north, heading into Tracy, out to Merced, to different areas. Head up north outside of Sacramento, and there's some great places there. It depends on how much and how long you're going to be able to telecommute for. And if you have to come into the office, are you willing to make that commute? For the past 30 years, people have been packing the city because they want to be able to get close to work. And with traffic jams the way they are in San Jose, and the way they are in all major cities, we need to find ways to get around. Telecommuting is one of those, and it's opened opportunities in different communities. Everybody's going virtual. Most everybody's going virtual. So you've got an opportunity to make that move. Health is at the forefront. So one of the things that we're seeing that's affecting life in the city are living in condominiums that are high-rise condominiums. We see that throughout New York, and we've seen it in other areas where COVID has hit hard, is that they believe it's because there's so many people jammed into those areas. So people are starting to take a look at that. Is this the lifestyle that I want? Second homes are in high demand. Hard to believe that second homes are in high demand, but they are, because we know that the hotel industries have been hit hard, and a lot of people no longer want to stay in hotels. They'd much rather just go ahead and buy a place of their own and not worry about any other people that are going into hotels. So they're trying to do that. The housing supply is tighter and tighter. We do not have a lot of housing available. Hopefully, once vaccines are out, this market will open back up a little bit. But right now in San Jose and in surrounding communities, single-family homes are selling within 3 weeks. Within 30 days, if you put your home on the market, it's normally selling. Now, it's got to be priced right. In some areas, you can price higher than the market and it'll be okay. But in most areas, your homes have to be priced right. And that's what we're telling sellers. We have to price right if you want to attract buyers. We've got to do that. Now, one last thing to take a look at. and this is where I'm going to finish up at, is Prop 19 simplified. So I am going to read what Prop 19 is all about. First off, who can take advantage of tax portability benefits from Prop 19? That means whatever your tax basis is right now in a home that you have to sell, that's what you'll be able to get throughout California. Your tax basis, and keep it there. It is an excellent way to have people be able to move within California. I think it is one of the greatest ways, and we got to take a look at it. So all Californians who are over the age of 55 are severely disabled or own a home that has been substantially damaged due to wildfire or natural disaster. For people in these groups, Prop 19 made 3 significant changes to the way property taxes are calculated when they sell a principal residence. A principal residence, the residence that you are living in, and move into a new primary residence. What are these changes? Sellers in these groups can now transfer the tax basis of their primary residence as a replacement property anywhere in the state of California. Previously, inter-county transfers were done on a limited basis. Sellers in these groups can now transfer the tax basis on their sold properties to their replacement property, regardless of value. Previously, transfers had to be only to properties of equal or lesser value. Some adjustments will be made if the property is of greater value. Sellers and these groups may take advantage of this benefit up to 3 times. And victims of wildfires and other natural disasters have no limitations. Previously, sellers could only make use of this transfer 1 time. This law will go into effect beginning on April 1st, 2021. If you have any questions about whether you are qualified or not, that should clear that up. If you are over 55, if you are severely disabled, or you have a home that has been substantially damaged due to wildfire or natural disaster. I am not a CPA. I would say that you can ask your CPA for any clarifications that you need on Prop 19. On Prop 19. If you are looking to move within California and you are over 55, or your house has been damaged, or you have a severe disability, I would say that you need to check out Prop 19 if you're going to move within the state of California and keep your property taxes at the basis that they are at right now. Well, that is the end of our half hour. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you joining us today. If you'd like to share this out, we would love you to do that. Sharing is caring, as we like to say. But I would ask you to do that, and we will return on Monday. Have an awesome weekend, and I look forward to seeing you then. Bye.